Part 3, Introduction to Microeconomics. What is an economy? Economy is the sum total of all economic activities. An economy is a system that provides people with the mean to work and earn a living in the process of production. So it's a mean or a system which provides people to work and earn living in the process of production. Basic activities of an economy are production, consumption, exchange, distribution, and capital formation. Capital formation means investment. Types of economies. On the basis of nature of economics, economic activities, and the role of government, economies are classified as planned economy, market economy, and mixed economy. Planned economy. Centrally, planned economy is an economic system in which all the decisions regarding economic problem are taken by central authority or government for maximization of social welfare. Features of central planned economy. All the means sources of production are owned by government. So production process are owned by the government. Governments take all the decisions regarding consumption, production and investment. So government interferes here for all the process of decision making, consumption, production and investment. Next, third feature is all decision aim to maximize social welfare. So on the basis of social welfare of the people, the decision will be made. Next, market economy. Market economy is an economic system in which decision regarding central economic problem is taken by market forces for maximization of profit. Features of market economy. First, all the means sources of production are owned and managed by private sector. So, as you know, it's a private sector, so it may be aiming profit. So, we can just go through the next feature. Private sector is free to take all decision regarding production, consumption and investment independently. So he can decide what to produce, so how much to produce. As per the demand, he will decide the production. Third, all the decisions are generally guided by the profit motive. All the decisions are generally guided by the profit motive. Third is mixed economy. Mixed economy is that economic system in which both public and private sector work together for fulfilling spelling is wrong, you can correct it FULFILLING. So fulfilling their motive by using resources owned by them. So we can take example as India. So in Indian economy, we can see both private as well as public sector is having equal importance. So next we can see features of mixed economy. So first one, it combines of features of both centrally planned economy and market planned economy. As you know that private as well as government. Second, in this economy, private sector is given the freedom to choose its lines of production and fix prices on the basis of price mechanism. So, private sector has its freedom to fix the price. So, next is a third one. At the same time, the government keeps a close watch on its activity. Government sees whether any malpractices are done in the private sector. Next, we are going to see meaning of central problems. Central problems, economic problem is the problem of making choices in use of scarce resources for satisfaction of unlimited wants. So as you know that our economy has unlimited wants. So as the resources are scarce, there arises the problem of utilization of resources. So the resources must be utilized in such a manner that all the people of the country gets a equal importance. So these are the problems which are common to all economies. As we had discussed the meaning of scarcity, so once more we can see scarcity is the root of central problem. So you know that there is some problem in the economy. It arises mainly due to scarcity. Scarcity means the non-availability of a required resource in the desired volume. So as in the economy there may be no resources available for meeting the needs of the people. So that is scarcity. So scarcity is mother of all economic problems. So it's an initial point of all economic problem. If a scarcity arises, the problem arise. Why does an economic problem arise? Economic problem arises because human wants are unlimited and means resources having alternative uses to satisfy them are limited, scarce. So what is that? Human wants are unlimited and the resources which are available in the economy are scarce to be fulfilling the wants of the people. Human wants are unlimited. The three alternative uses to satisfy them are limited resources. So in the economy there are limited resources to satisfy the whole world. So human wants are unlimited, first point. Second, limited resources. Third point, resources can be put to alternative uses. So certain resources can be put to alternative uses. So on the basis of these alternative uses, the resources which are already needed for the people will not be reached. So it may be used for another purpose. If a question is asked, discuss the central problem of an economy, you have to answer the three problems, that is problem of allocation of resources, problem of fuller and efficient utilization of resources, problem of growth of resources, and these three are the problems. So problems of allocation of resources. Every economy has limited resources which can be alternatively be used. And first is what to produce. What to produce refers to a problem in which decision regarding which goods and services should be produced is to be taken. So decision is to be taken on the which goods are to be produced, like that decision has to be taken. So it may be sometimes as per the wants of the people. This problem has two dimensions. So first one, which of the possible commodities should be produced? So which of the possible commodities should be produced? Second, how much of each of these commodities should be produced? View of limited resources, when we produce more of a commodity, it means we will be able to produce less of another. So this proportion may not be same. So sometimes the production will be high of another commodity and less of another commodity. So it should be in the same proportion. So in view of limited resources, we produce more of commodity. It means we will be able to produce less of another commodity. So the economy has to choose between capital goods like machines, tools, etc. Civil goods like cloth, watch, radio, etc. Consumer goods like wheat, clothes, shoe, sugar, etc. Military goods like guns, bombs, tanks, etc. Necessities of life such as food, clothing, housing, etc. Or luxury goods such as car, color TV, etc. are to be produced. So in the proportion that all the economic needs of the people may be solved. So it is on regarding principle for an economy here is to allocate resources in such a manner that maximum aggregate satisfaction to the society is to be reached. Okay, so the resources are to be allocated in such a manner that in which proportion the capital goods or the necessity goods are to be produced. Second is how to produce. How to produce refers to a problem in which decision regarding which techniques of production should be used is taken. So which technique? So you know that some will produce with what machines, some will produce only with humans. So we can name these two techniques as to perform the production process as capital intensive technique and labor intensive technique. Labor intensive technique, in this technique production is done through labors, and by adopting this technique there is a greater employment opportunity. Okay, so labor intensive means only labor is required for the production process, so there is no capital in the production process, so only labor is taking initiative in production. Next is capital intensive technique. This technique, production is done through machines, and by adopting this work is done efficiently and faster. So capital intensive, you know, machines, and labor intensive, labors have been used, and capital intensive, capital has been used, and it makes the work faster. So third is for whom to produce. For whom to produce refers to a problem in which decision regarding which category of people are going to consume a good that is economically poor or rich. So on the basis of the poor and rich, this classification is done. So for whom to produce? For poor, poorer sections of the economy are to be produced, or richer sections of the economy are to be produced, or equally we have to concentrate. So that is what we are seeing here. So it is the problem of choice between social equality and GDP growth. So social equality means if social equality is to be promoted, GDP growth is to be sacrificed to some extent. So GDP growth means our economic development. So how much the what and all things we are producing, we have what a result of economic growth. So that is GDP. So if GDP growth is to be promoted, social justice equality is to be sacrificed to some extent. So that is these two factors have been what concentrated more. So we have next problem of efficient and fuller utilization of resources. Next problem with the economy is how to use its limited resources, that is land, labor, capital and other resources, so that maximum production at least cost can be produced. If the resources are fully utilized, it will mean unemployment or underemployment of resources, that is wastage of natural resources. Third problem is problem of growth of resources. Growth of resources has become a basic problem as the resources are scarce and they will have possibility of being exhausted after a continuous use. This objective can be achieved by technological advancement. Underdeveloped countries remain poor of poor growth resources. Besides fuller utilization of these countries should try to raise their productive capacity by exploring further availability of resources and discovering better techniques for their use, so they are not wasting the resources. Next topic is opportunity cost. Our resources are scarce. These resources can be put to alternative uses. It is therefore necessary that we must make the best possible utilization of resources to generate maximum output. It requires shifting of resources from the production of the present commodity to the production of the alternative commodity, which can earn more value. For example, if 1 acre of land produces rice worth rupees 5,000 and wheat worth rupees 8,000, the rational producer will forego the production of rice worth rupees 5,000 for the sake of wheat worth rupees 8,000. As such, the opportunity cost for producing wheat will be rupees 5,000, the cost of producing rice. As such, opportunity cost of a factor is also called the transfer earning of the factor or the cost for next best for foregone alternative. In words of Ferguson, the alternative or opportunity cost of producing 1 unit of a commodity X is the amount of Y that must be sacrificed in order to use resources to produce X rather than Y. So, what did you understand from this? So you can see that at the same time the production of rice and wheat. So rice he gets 5,000 and wheat he gets 8,000. So he may produce more wheat than rice. So as he has more profit from wheat worth rupees 8,000, then he will be foregoing the production of rice instead of, and he will be producing the wheat so that he may get more profit.